In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 50 plus hidden details, secret features, things you didn't know and missed from the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. Let's begin with something I noticed in several shots that included cars. It looks like the vehicles are going to have working and functioning mirrors. There's a couple of clips that you can see where the reflections look like they're mirroring real time, and so it looks like they might actually be usable as compared to what we have now, which is just these weird blurry reflections that don't provide anything visually. Moving on, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been listening to the trailer song Love is a Long Road by Tom Petty. Well, it looks like Rockstar put a little Easter egg in the trailer. At the very end, as Jason and Lucia are kicking down the doors of a convenience store, there's a sticker in there that says Petty Forever, and this is very likely a tribute to Tom Petty as he passed away a few years ago. Just one of the interesting stickers that you can see on that door. Now moving on to another scene that had a lot going on. It featured all these vehicles on the main Vice City strip. One thing that's interesting is the homeless guy that seems to be begging for food or money. He actually has an iguana on his shoulder. So I don't know if that is his pet or if this is going to be like a stranger and freak homeless guy with iguana, but either way, it kind of confirms that those animals are returning and that you're actually able to have them on your shoulder. At least certain NPCs will. And in that exact same shot, you might actually notice a yellow and white taxi cab in the background. This is actually an iconic Easter egg, not only from real life Miami, as there's a taxi that is basically parked there every single day, but also in the original Vice City, you'll also see a yellow and white taxi parked outside of the same hotel. So we're already starting to see Rockstar bring back some references and Easter eggs from Vice City of the past. Now, one thing we checked out right when the trailer dropped was this billboard for a medicine, Angstapan. It cures emotion. There's actually two interesting things on here. Number one, it seems like Rockstar has actually parodied the company Pfizer. It's called Fizz. Of course, they were going to do that probably after everything that has happened over the last couple of years. And there is some fine print on there, including the description, call your doctor if your erection lasts for more than 4 hours, which is typically not a side effect you would see with maybe a medicine like that. It also says patients 18 to 65 should use with caution, so I found that to be a pretty funny reference. Rockstar is obviously going to make fun of a lot of real life things, and this should be no exception. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but not only does Jason have a pretty significant scar in his beard, which suggests that he's been in a few fights or has gotten roughed up a little bit in the past, but he also has 2 piercings in his left earlobe. So this suggests that Jason might be able to wear earrings, or at least he was a little bit trendy in the past and previously wore them. So some accessories on his character certainly might be possible. Could we be seeing kids in the Grand Theft Auto series for the first time? In this show that looks like it's called Thrill Billy Mud Club, we can clearly see some kids wrestling in the pile of mud. And they're way shorter than the other adults. It's not just, adults that are sunken deep in this pool of muddy water. Those are legitimately kids. Now, it begs the question whether or not this is in free mode or not, or if this is like a dedicated TV show, just something we can view on our phones or on television, which would possibly explain the watermark in the bottom right-hand corner, Thrill Billy Mud Club, because that does feel like it could be an in-game TV show, but kids are definitely present in that. This next shot right here was incredible. We saw so many animals in this Everglades scene, and it really does look like there could be giant pythons and snakes. I can't make it out 100%, but it's definitely something. Like, it's not just blades of grass or a plant. It definitely looks like it might be a giant python of sorts, which kind of confirms that big snakes will be returning. A lot of you guys were asking about this shot right here and what the translation for that is. The top says, confession written in ink for tattoos, a tattoo on the neck that gave himself away, key in the conviction of a Leonid man. So as we get further into more videos, this is actually a reference to something that, yes, legitimately happened in the state of Florida, believe it or not, but that's the translation, and now you know why that guy was having his mugshot taken and was in an orange jumpsuit. Another sign from the convenience store that Jason and Lucia are breaking into, it says, "We no longer accept cash stored in underwear." And believe it or not, I actually looked that up, and those are legitimate signs that you sometimes see on convenience stores. I don't know about you, I've never stored money in my underpants, but apparently in Grand Theft Auto 6, they don't want you to do that either. It looks like Chop might be returning, or at least Rottweilers. As you can see in this police body camera footage, there's a sign that says "Beware of the dog," and that definitely looks like a Rottweiler and certainly looks like a reference to Chop, Franklin's dog. That's pretty cool. In one of the opening scenes where we see Lucia staring out into the sun and the courtyard of the jail, we actually see the sun reflecting in on her face. This is actually Rockstar utilizing ray-traced global illumination. This is something that is going to make the world feel so realistic, just from the little things like sun peeking through a window and sort of illuminating the dust that you see around Lucia, her face, her outfit, all that sort of good stuff. It really is a cool technique that Rockstar's using. And you can also see ray-traced water reflections in this social media shot right here at the Aero gasoline store. Look at the reflections in the water of the headlights of the cop that's chasing the guy not wearing a lot of clothing. That's another detail that Rockstar is going to utilize that's going to make the world feel extremely realistic. Speaking of social media posts, on the one with General Custard Cannon, one thing we get to see here is actually the interior of this vehicle. And one thing that's kind of unique is the door handle is actually duct taped on. It really does seem like Rockstar has improved the interiors of vehicles. They're going to be more unique. They're going to have more little details and features. That's kind of neat. In the opening shot of the trailer, we get two cool features returning from Red Dead Redemption 2. The first is the clouds. They look absolutely beautiful. And also the water physics from the boat driving by. Those are both improved from Grand Theft Auto 5 and are going to be updated to Rockstar's most recent version of their Rage engine. Now, going to this shot right here, there is a lot going on and a lot to break down. The first thing that's kind of interesting is the two like crazy fit guys running in the center of the shot with the little chihuahua. They actually kick up the most sand because they're running. If you take a look at everyone else, they're not kicking up as much, but because they are kicking up the most sand. You'll also notice that there are footprints in the sand from people not only standing, walking, you can see people that look to be standing there the longest have like the deepest footprints, and people that are closest to the water actually have more sand on them. Like the girl who's twerking and the guy who's trying to film it from a very unique angle. She's got more sand on her legs and on her feet because she's closer to the water, which means it's going to stick easier to her. That to me is absolutely insane that Rockstar thought about this. Again, there's so much going on in this scene, but I found that to be a neat little feature. And another little thing I found from the beach shot, the guy standing next to the cooler looks like he's actually got AirPods in his ear. This is a feature that Rockstar introduced in online, so maybe this is hopefully more than just something that NPCs can have. Maybe we can actually get a pair of these wireless headphones, be able to listen to the radio and whatnot outside of our vehicles. That would be kind of cool. Something interesting I also noticed in the convenience store as Jason and Lucia are walking through it, and that is wrapped cheap clothing. You guys can see there that there's like blue and white shirts that say like extra large, large, medium. It'll be interesting to see if we have the ability to buy clothing from the convenience stores or possibly even throw on these cheap shirts, because it kind of looks like Jason might be wearing one of the white shirts that you can see on the wall. If you commit a robbery and you change your outfit really quickly, that might be a way to get rid of the cops faster or not get any wanted level attention. Now, going back to this shot right here of the main Vice City strip, one thing that I found to be kind of interesting is the hotel rooms in the background. It actually looks like these might be enterable or at least have a 3D interior, because you can see that the television is on, there's a lamp in there, and there is a poster in there with some pretty good detail. So I'm really hoping that this might be a hotel room somewhere you can stay, possibly even a business that you could own. So it looks like Rockstar is really prioritizing making a lot of these buildings enterable or at least have having interiors, which is really awesome. Going back to another social media post, this one coming from Official Poach. I actually had to really look closely at what Poach stood for. It's protection of animals and controlled hunting. So another in-game department that you might come across, especially if you have an alligator in your swimming pool. Now moving on, as confirmed by Rockstar, we are in the state of Leonid, and you guys might be wondering why Rockstar decided to come up with that name instead of just calling it Florida. Well, Rockstar always has parodies of the locations that their games take place. Like for example, Liberty City is in the state of Liberty, Los Santos is in the state of San Andreas, and now Vice City is in the state of Leonid. And an explanation for why Rockstar is calling it Leonid possibly comes from the first official European explorer to come to Florida, and that is Ponce de Leon. That would give you the first part of the name Leo, and then the Ida at the end probably is just finishing off similar to Florida, how it ends in a DA as well. So I guarantee you that's where it came from. That might be kind of a little history nugget that you might not have known about. In this nighttime shot right here of this intersection being closed, one thing you might not have noticed is some street lights are actually faulty. So some in this shot you can see are working, but others, like this one in particular, are not. This also looks like it might be a slightly more rundown area, so that will be interesting to see if little details like that carry over from neighborhood to neighborhood, but that street light is definitely not working. Going back to Jason and Lucia at the convenience store, one thing that's kind of interesting is when she kicks open the door, dust flies everywhere. And when this happens, it either typically means you're in a desert, dusty area, or it's the door has not been opened all that much. And this kind of looks like it's a run-of-the-mill, small-town convenience store. And because of that, you might not expect that door is opened all that much, or certainly not opened with all that much force. Either way, that's certainly a very cool detail. And another cool detail that confirms the game is taking place in modern times, even though Rockstar has already said this takes place in modern-day Vice City, is the money. The money has so much level of detail, you can actually see an S on there. And this S implies that it is a modern day currency, at least as of the year 2020. So I don't know when the game is going to be taking place. Typically, Rockstar makes the games take place in the year they come out, like 2023 for GTA 5, 2008 for Grand Theft Auto 4. So it wouldn't be shocking if when this comes out in 2025, that's when we see the game take place officially. But the money also confirms that. Now, it also looks like there might be more than one method of payment, or at least a different way to pay, because as you can see, there is a little sticker on the convenience store window that says iFruit Pay. Now, this is clearly a parody of Apple Pay, something you might use in your everyday life, but iFruit Pay might be something that we are able to use in Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, this shot in particular has a lot going on. There's actually over 100 vehicles that you can see here, which is absolutely crazy. But one thing that kind of caught my eye is the fact that you can see like what looks to be a fire burning on the island. I wonder what that is coming from. Is it like someone lost at sea or a smoke signal? If so, there's plenty of people around them. Or has someone set this fire on purpose? I have no idea what's going on, but I did find that to be kind of interesting. Like maybe there's some sort of mystery or something going on that island that we just don't know about quite yet. Now, in this shot right here, there was certainly a lot to focus on that might have gotten you distracted, but one thing that you can see in the background is it looks like we might have another Mile High Club building on our hands, as there is one big skyscraper currently under construction. And that seems to be kind of the running joke with GTA 5 and Los Santos, is that the Mile High Club has been under construction for like 13 years now. So it makes you wonder, will this building be under construction the entire time? Will the map be dynamic like Red Dead Redemption 2, where we will see it completed at a certain point of the story? Who knows? But I did notice that it looks like we have another massive construction building here in Vice City. Now, it also looks like the destruction in this game is going to be really good. In this Weasel News report, you can see a lot of things that have specific destructive abilities to it. There is glass shattered everywhere. these yellow containers that have that liquid, they are completely dented, and you can even see the guardrail, that metal, is no longer perfectly flat. That means all of them have been dented and destroyed. So hopefully that level of destruction isn't something we just see in these Weasel news reports, and hopefully that's something we see in our own gameplay too. Throughout the trailer, you might have also seen that there are so far 4 different law enforcement agencies. You have the Vicedale County Sheriff Office, the Vice City Police Department, the Leonid County Sheriff Office, and the Leonid Highway Patrol. So there definitely seems like there's multiple branches of law enforcement, of police activity in the game, which is no surprise considering how massive Vice City is going to be. Speaking of scenes in which you might have been distracted a little bit, the one in the Jack of Hearts strip club, you might have noticed that this guy tossing money on the girl that is twerking for him, he is actually wearing a shirt, and on the back it says Dolls of Destruction. And this very much looks like this is a band because you can see there's actually like tour dates on the back. It looks like they have stops in Liberty City, Vice City, and Los Santos from what I can see. So not only is that a cool Easter egg to previous GTA cities, but it also looks like that might be a band that we can see in game, very similar to how like Love Fist appeared in Vice City and in Grand Theft Auto 5. And this social media shot of High Rollers Mag featuring High Rollers Lifestyle, the guy in the front of the screen, he actually has a shirt on that says Righteous Slaughter, and then it says something ops. So Righteous Slaughter is a parody of Call of Duty in the GTA series, and it looks like this is Rockstar making fun of the multiple editions of Call of Duty that have come out over the years. So this is a new version of Righteous Slaughter. I wonder if you'll be able to either play it or witness someone playing it like we saw with Jimmy DeSanta in GTA 5. But anyways, that right there is some more hidden details, secret features, things you might have missed and might not have noticed from the first official Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What are some other things that you've noticed in the trailer that I have not touched on in my videos yet? Please feel free to let me know down there and where they occur in the trailer. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel over the next, of course, couple of weeks, months, and beyond. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.